my dear student. Hope you are well. This is Mohammad Ashraful Islam, lecturer, Department of Physics, Milestone College. Today I am here taking an online class. I hope this class will help you the better study at your home. Today I am going to solve two creative questions from chapter 3 for class 10. Today our topic is force. Okay, let's start our today's topic. Before starting our class, let's see all the formula related to the force. The first formula is F equals to ma. Here F is the force which unit is Newton. M is the mass which unit is kg. A is the acceleration which unit is meter per second square. And to calculate the acceleration, we have another formula that we have already discussed in our previous chapter number 2. And the formula is A equals to V minus U divided by T. And V square equals to U square plus 2AS. These two formula will use when the value of A, that means acceleration, is not given in our information. Now formula number 2, the formula is P equals to mv. Here P is the momentum which unit is kg meter per second, m is the mass and v is the velocity. The third formula to calculate the impulse of force, the formula is J equals to F into T, and that is another formula, J equals to mv minus mu. Here J is the impulse of force which unit is kg meter per second, F is the force which unit is Newton, T is the time which unit is second. Now the law of conservation of momentum. This is the very important formula. The formula is m1u1 plus m2u2 equals to m1v1 plus m2v2. Now the law of conservation of energy. The formula is half m1u1 square plus half m2u2 square equals to half m1v1 square plus half m2v2 square. The significance are m1 is the mass of the first body, m2 the mass of the second body, u1 is the initial velocity of the first body, v1 is the final velocity of the first body, and v2 is the final velocity of the second body. This all the formula. Okay, let's start our today's lecture on the basis of that formula. First creative question, let's see the stem. The stem says Tanjim thrown a stone mass of 50 gram with a velocity of 60 meter per second parallel to the ground. This is the stem. The question A is what is called dimension. Dimension means the power of fundamental quantity in a physical quantity is called dimension. And you know the dimension of the force is ml per t square. Now question number B, the question is what is meant by force? 10 Newton. We know force is the external cause which change or try to change the state of a substance. And 10 Newton force means if a body mass of 10 kg accelerate with 1 meter per second square, then it's said to be 10 Newton force. Let's see the question in mathematical term. We know to calculate the force is F equals to ma, and if we consider mass of the body is 10 kg, accelerate with 1 meter per second square, that is said to be 10 Newton. So if we calculate that two expression, then we will get 10 kg meter per second square. Here kg meter per second square is also known as Newton. That is why we can write here 10 Newton. This is the mathematical explanation of the question number B. Hope you have understood. Now question number C. Let's see the question. The question is if the stone moves with a uniform velocity then find the distance traveled by the stone for 4 seconds. That means we have to calculate the distance traveled by the stone for 4 seconds when it is moves with uniform velocity. Let's see the given quantity. Here velocity is given, that means the uniform velocity is given here. Velocity is denoted by v, and whose value is given here 60 meter per second. 60 meter per second, and the time is given in that condition, which is 4 meter per second. So we can write here time denoted by small t, whose value is 4 seconds, given in the condition of the question number C, and we have to calculate the distance. Distance s equals to what? And we know if a body moves with uniform velocity, then calculate the distance. We have a formula which is s equals to vt. Here velocity and time is given in the stem. So if you put the value of v, which is 60 meter per second, and time is given here 4, and after calculation that expression we will get the value is 240. As you know, the unit of distance is meter, so we can write here s equals to 240 meter. That means if the stone moves uniformly, then after 4 seconds it will travel 240 meter distance. This is the answer of question number C. Hope you have understand. Question number D. Let's see the question. The question is it possible to stop the stone at 10 meter away by applying 9 Newton resistive force? That means if you want to stop the stone which moves with the velocity of 60 meter per second by applying 9 Newton resistive force at 10 meter away, then is it possible or not? So we have to calculate the retardation or deceleration first. Let's see the given quantity. Given quantity here, mass of the stone. Here mass is given mass m given here 50 gram, and we know gram is a Celsius unit and we have to convert into mks, that means SI unit. That is why we have to divide 50 by 1000. Then we can write here 0.05 kg unit. And here the body will stop after some time. That means the initial velocity will be 60 meter per second and the final velocity of the stone will be 0. So we can write here initial velocity, which is denoted by small letter u, which is given here 60 meter per second, and final velocity it is denoted by v, which is 0, and the body is opposing 9 Newton force. So we can write here force F equals to 9 Newton, and we have to calculate the distance, but here you can see a distance is also given. That means if we calculate the distance by our given information and if we compare the distance is less than the 10 meter, then it is possible to stop the body. But if the calculated distance is more than the 10 meter, then it is not possible to stop the body at 10 meter away. So we have to calculate the distance. So distance is S equals to what? We know to calculate the acceleration by applying mass and force, we have a formula which is F equals to ma. Now if you want to calculate the value of m, then we can write here ma equals to F. Then we can write A equals to F divided by m. Now if you put the value of F and m, that means force and mass, which is given in the stem, which is 9 Newton divided by mass is 0.05. Then after calculation that expression, we will get the acceleration is 180 meter per seconds. And now we are going to calculate the distance, and we have a quantity A, U, V and S. So our formula will be V square equals to U square plus 2S. But here the resistive force is applied, that means the velocity of the stone will be decreased. So we can say here the deceleration will take place. So we will use the formula V square equals to U square minus 2S. Which is V square equals to U square minus 2S. We use here minus sign because the velocity of the stone will be decreased. That means deceleration will take place here. So we will use here minus sign. Now if we change the position of U square minus 2AS from left side to the right side, then we can write U square minus 2AS equals to V square. Now if we changing the position of U square from left side to right side, then we can write minus 2AS equals to V square minus U square. Now if we change the position of 2A from left side to the right side, then we can write S equals to V square minus U square divided by minus 2A. Now if you put the value of V, which is 0, U is 60 and A is 180. S equals to V is 0 square, U is given here 60 square divided by minus 2 into 180. And after calculation that expression, we will get S equals to 10 meter. And in our stem, there is a given value of distance is 10 meter. That means by applying 9 Newton resistive force, we can stop the stone at 10 meter away. That is why we can say it is possible to stop the stone by applying resistive force 10 Newton. Therefore, we can write here it is possible to stop the stone This is the calculation of the question number D. Hope you have understand. You can take a snap of the solution of question number D. This will help you to solve the math at
second credit question. Let's see the stem. The stem says a track of mass 600 kg starts from rest, moving uniform acceleration of 0.2 meter per second square, and after 60 seconds colleagues with stationary pickup van of mass 400 kg get locked with it and moves together with a velocity of 7.2 meter per second. let's see the question number 1. The question A is, what is the sliding friction? Sliding friction means if a body slides or moves by rubbing with the another surface of the body, that is called sliding friction. Now question number B. The question is, write two differences between balanced and unbalanced force. The first difference between balanced force and unbalanced force is, balanced force if two or more force acting on the body and produce zero resultant force, that is called balanced force. And unbalanced force if two or more force acting on the body and produce resultant force, that is called unbalanced force. Number 2, the balanced force has no acceleration, but in imbalanced force it will create the acceleration on the body. Now question number C. The question is, how far distance the truck will cover before collision? That means we have to calculate the distance of the truck before collision. Let's see the given quantity here. Before collision, the truck moves with a uniform acceleration of 0.2 meter per second square, and the truck was in rest. So we can write here mass of the truck is given here 600 kg, and its start move from rest. So we can write here initial velocity which is denoted by u, and that is 0 because the truck start from rest. So we can write here u equals to 0, and the acceleration is given here acceleration A is 0.2 meter per second square. Time is given here 60 seconds. So we can write time, which is denoted by a small letter t. Value is given here 60 seconds. And we have to calculate the distance. Distance s equals to what? And we know if a body moves with uniform acceleration, then the formula to calculate the distance is s equals to ut plus half a t square. If you put the value of ut and a from our given information, then we can write s equals to 0 into value of t is 60 plus half a is given here 0.2 and time is given here 60 seconds. So we can write here 60 square, and after calculation that expression we will get the value of distance is 360, and you know the unit of distance is meter. This is the answer of question number C. Now question number D. Let's see the question. The question is, does the above phenomena support the principles of conservation of momentum? Explain mathematically. First, let's see the stem in a figure. That you can see here a race truck, mass of 600 kg, moves with a uniform acceleration of 0.2 meter per second square, and after 60 seconds it collided with a pickup van which is in the rest position, mass of 400 kg, and after that the pickup van and the truck moved together with a combined velocity of 7.2 meter per seconds. And the question is, does the above phenomenon support the principle of conservation of momentum or not? That means we have to calculate the initial velocity of the track first. So we can write here, in case of track, initial velocity of the track is 0 because the track start moving from the rest. So we can write here, initial velocity, which is u equals to 0, and the acceleration is given, here 0.2 meter per second square, 0.2 meter per second square, and time is given here 60 seconds. That means after 60 seconds that truck will collide with the pickup van. So we consider time t equals to 60 seconds. Now we have to calculate the final velocity. So we can write final velocity v equals to what? So we know we have a formula which is, we know the formula to calculate the velocity is v equals to u plus at. And if you put all the value u, a and t in that equation, then we can write u is 0, a is 0.2 and time is 60. Then we'll get 12 meter per second. That means when the truck collide with the pickup van, in that time the truck has the velocity of 12 meter per second, and after that the truck moved with combined velocity with a velocity of 7.2 meter per second. Now I am going to calculate the total momentum of the collision and total momentum after the collision. From that calculation we can see when the truck collide with the pickup van, in that time its velocity was 12 meter per second and the velocity of the pickup van was 0. So let us see the given information here. Here for truck, the mass of the truck is given, consider the mass of the truck is m1, and which value is given here 600 kg, and the initial velocity of the truck is 12 meter per second and the final velocity of the truck is 4.2 meter per second. So we can write here initial velocity, which is E1 equals to 12 meter per second, and the final velocity V1 is 7.2 meter per second. Now in case of pickup van, the mass of the pickup van is given here 400 kg. So we can write here for pickup van, the mass of the pickup van, which is M2, and the value is given here 400 kg. The initial velocity is u2 0 and the final velocity is 7.2 meter per second. So we can write here initial velocity u2 equals to 0 and final velocity v2 equals to 7.2 meter per second. Now I am going to calculate the total momentum before collision and after collision. Total momentum before collision, and the formula is m1 e1 plus m2 u2, and if you put the value of m1 e1 and m2 u2 from the given information, then we can write mass of truck is given here 600 kg and e1 is given 12, and m2 is the mass of the pickup van, which value is 400 and u2 is 0, and after calculation that expression will get the value of total momentum before collision is 7200 and the unit of momentum is kg meter per second. That is the total momentum before collision. Now total momentum after collision. After collision, and we know the formula is m1 v1 plus m2 v2, and if you put the value, then we can write m1 is 600, v1 plus m2 is given here 400 and the value of v2 is 7.2. You can see here both v1 and v2 are equal because the truck and the pickup van move combinedly after collision. After calculation, that expression will get the value 7200 and the unit of momentum is kg meter per second. Above the calculation, we can see the total momentum before collision, the total momentum after collision is equal. So that we can write here m1 e1 plus m2 u2 equals to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. That means that above phenomena which mentioned in the stem, that means the above phenomenon that mentioned in the stem, which is support the principles of conservation of momentum.
That's all for today. Solve this trick creative question as your homework and send to your respective subject teacher. Thank you for being with me.